these odd tattoos that appear on their bodies in different places. And over the years, as they get older, the tattoos begin to spread and grow and become very elaborate.
But being from Thrain, I wouldn't know much about the different houses or anything.
Oh, you'd have a passing knowledge of them.
Okay. So that's important then, right, Siegfried?
Yes, I take on spy cases for the city,
You
the
what?
Black Serpent, and all that stuff.
I didn't know you did
spy.
that.
I guess all our secrets are coming out today.
Well, I have tried, and I asked Nick to talk about it, but Nick just bluntly said no. But, whatever, Nick wants to keep his secrets, he can keep his secrets. It's all fine for me, but the point is, I am actually involved in a lot deeper things than you think.
Well, Siegfried, why don't you just
I
ask
do
his
agree.
girlfriend what his secrets are?
I have her sending stone.
What?
Oh, gosh.
You mean we can just contact her now? Send her a message, tell her
No.
to take the thing off.
No. Please destroy that thing. She's probably listening. And she just
Speaking
kind
of which, I think Manchin still has a sanding stone.
No, that's a different one.
As you mention that, Siegfried, your stone begins vibrating.
I answer it.
Oh, Siggy. It's been a while. How are you keeping?
I'm trying to keep the kid in order.
Tell me, I hate to bother you, but have you heard anything new about the Sea Maiden's Fair?
Well, nothing new. I've sent all the information I know to House Phalaris a while ago.
Well, it's strange. I haven't seen you in a while. You haven't checked in at the Enclave.
Why would it be weird? I went dark for years.
Oh, it's just we had that wonderful night down by the docks, and we.
Oh, you mean scar dazing as nothing happened and I died of utter boredom? Yeah, wonderful.
Well,
Dog.
I thought it was wonderful. I do hope to see you again soon.
Oh yeah, sugar tits. Oh, let me tell you. I wink over at Nicholas.
Oh man, you're awesome. You guys should totally go out.
And if you would be so kind as to remind Zara Aisha that her time is limited, and that she should really take care of that ring. That would be lovely.
And I'm thinking maybe I should talk to our bosses and the fact that you're getting people that shouldn't be involved in it and forcing my hand on things.
The sound from the sending stone goes silent.
You sure told her, Siegfried.
I smile at Zara. Don't worry, Zara. I'll take your guys' side over that harlot's any day. I see exactly what she was doing.
Make a perception check, Siegfried.
I want to use my passive perception.
Okay. With your passive perception, the stone, as wherever you put it, did you place it on the table, put it back in your pack?
I'd place it on the table.
Okay. You place it on the table, the stone begins shrinking to the size of a pea. And then with a little poof, it's gone.
Zara casts thaumaturgy and makes all the doors and windows in the entire manor open and shut.
There's a resounding booming and a bit of wind blustering from the windows as it blows in, and you're all momentarily deafened by the sound of windows and doors closing and opening and shutting simultaneously.
What was that about?
She heard. She knew I didn't. I wanted her to believe that I'd lost my memory, and she just heard everything.
You don't know that.
Zara, as your hands begin to smoke.
What, the one with the ring on it?
No, both of her hands.
Looking down, he casts dancing lights on her hands. Because he recalls how embarrassed she was last time something like this happened. And he dancing lights and and then used minor illusion to just create a loud screeching sound to distract everyone.
And she was sitting by Brunhilde, banging her head on the table, and she had her hands on the table, and
when you remove your hands from the table, there are scorch marks on the wood, perfectly framing the outline of your fingers as they were spread on the table.
Well, aren't those pretty?
I bet Zeta could do that.
I can turn this whole table into silver if I want to.
Cheeto, you can?
That is
I can't.
amazing. Zara, are you okay?
no, but
Look, Zara, it'll all work out in the end. Either we'll get everything straightened out and we'll go over there and give that bitch what's for, or we'll execute her in your name after she kills you.
I just
Either way, it'll work out.
I know, just this sucks. I'm not gonna lie. And she's just like, it's fine, but I want to change the topic. I just remembered something that'll keep my mind off this for one moment.
If you throw a lizard out a window,
No, it actually has to do with the more important thing we were talking about, the whole end of the world.
I don't know. Everything seems like it's linking up to the whole end of the world thing. Because remember, there is supposed to be a war between houses in a year's time. So it all seems pretty damn coincidental.
it looks like Zeta was right about wedding.
And that's exactly what I was just thinking about. You had mentioned something about Tarkanen, right?
One of my doubles, I believe so, and it is them that's supposed to start the war. And it seems like Whoreface, as you say, seems to be acting in her own interests.
Well, the thing is, when I was growing up, remember I mentioned the word aberrant. That seemed to go around quite a bit. Also, Tarkanen had been mentioned a couple times. Just by my cousins who had started in working and all that. Something to do with our history. But honestly, I don't know much more than that. Again, that's why I really wanted to speak to my brother. I have a feeling he has more than I know. It might be really important now that, well, this whole thing comes up, and I trust my brother. He's different than my family. He's the one who rescued me. That's another story for another.
Why don't you send him a letter and tell him to come meet up with us?
Yes, I'm out of letters, but I'm certain Rainier may have an extra one you can borrow off of him. It
Just
would
a
seem
regular
important.
letter.
I don't know, this is hasteful. If it's in a year's time for a war, it may not be the end of the world, but it may be something highly linked to the end of the world. The faster we can get information, the better. And I'd say we should get information from him before we go to the boats. If we go to the boats at all.
Do we have one of those little birds?
As I was saying, you could probably ask Rainier for one. I'm sure he has loads as a noble. I used the last bit to contact, Shun and the rest.
I'm going to hold up the one that Siegfried sent me and say, can we reuse this one?
Zara looks at Rainier, looks at Siegfried.
Rainier has been just patiently sitting back, listening to all of you, and just sort of taking it all in, and continuing to smoke his pipe. He's refilled it a few times.
I'll look over at Nick.
And his eyes are red as a weasel.
I'll look over at Nick. Now, do you believe your wife?
Me? I mean, I don't think she's a High Inquisitor. I think she's a little confused.
I think you may be a little confused. You just confirmed some of the things that she was mentioning.
I mean, let's just be real and I mean, for a moment that if my boss was evil, I mean, I have a sending stone from Barnabas. I mean, that would be bad too, wouldn't it? As Nick's like sarcastic.
If I remember correctly, Nick, Barnabas is. Your face used Barnabas to get you back into the Inquisitor so that she could have control over you. That's what she said.
But was she lying?
I don't know. I don't know anything anymore.
Hey, does anybody else have any secrets they want to share? Zito, any special powers?
No, no secrets here.
Brunhild, you, part angel or something?
No, but I have a dog back home.
Nice.
I'm technically part of the Circus of Shadows.
Byron, do you... Actually, you know what, Byron? Never mind.
No, really, Byron. What are you all?
I thought it was Brian.
No, that was, earlier. He's Byron now.
Oh, I mean,
I have too many to mention.
Fair enough.
Well, I guess we're on that topic. I'm from the opposite house of Siegfried over there. I show my tattoo. Our houses got into it a while ago. Our families fought, and a big shadow schism happened, and we split up. And that's when me and my ex went bye-bye, because we no longer communicated after that.
Is that why you and Siegfried seem like y'all don't get along?
Is that the reason why me and your bond is so strong? Because we have a stronger bond than you and your ex. Oh, I feel so bashful. I love you too, Nicholas.
Siegfried, do you know if this Blackwater follows through on her threats, or is she just making threats?
I don't know too much about her, but what I do know is, though she is acting in kin to try to complete the mission under any ways necessary, we usually don't get other people involved, especially personal. I try to keep it secret until, Nick's mechanical griffin flew, and obviously he was a spy, and obviously two spies acting semi-in accordance without knowing about each other is highly dangerous and can ruin everything.
And she mentioned a time limit. Did she tell you that there's a certain time that this ring is like going to blow up and kill you or something?
The problem is, as you know, we've been gone for 25 days, and I wrote House Polaris to try to get some information when I wrote Manchun and the rest of them. However, it seems maybe she intercepted the letter or got her hands on it and burned it, which is weird, but that is highly a possibility. As far from that, our connection is those ships are linked to the circus that was down there, which, as I said, I'm part of the Circus of Shadows, and me nor House Polaris has ever heard of the circuses there. And it's also, I believe, linked to the interdimensional space hamsters that were purchased, which is all weird. Yes, I know, right? The planar hamsters, all during the time that multi-dimensions, the realm of madness, is a huge threat. That's why I'm saying
sounds
connected.
Really confusing and made up to me. Who do we need to kill?
That's the thing. In charge of all that is Nevacott, who's a Lord Mayor candidate, led by the Gentleman of the Ships, which is linked to the circus, which is linked to our job, my job as given by House Polaris, which is also the job of Agent Blackwater, who then got you two into it. So there's about 3 people. The captain of the ships, Nevacott, and Blackwater would be the 3 that we should interrogate.
Information, right?
More or less, yes.
Well, then why don't we just go shake them until information falls out?
Because the captain we'd have to get on the ship, which I believe that was part of Blackwater's plan, which That, granted, would get us on the ship. So the course of action isn't completely idiotic. Can't prove she's against us. However, she has made an enemy of my friends, and that makes her my enemy, of course. But to him would get us to Nevercaught, and Nevercaught may be even there. But shaking down a ex-Lord Mayor candidate seems really stupid.
Well, at this point here, what are our options?
If I can,
Yeah, go ahead.
We've got 2 spies. We have a member of the church. We have a cleric of the church. I'm just a courier. Why is it upon us to do everything to save this world and everything else? Why not the high ups that that control half the city and warp time and space and whatever else and travel time? Shit, I don't know.
Well,
because
left up to us.
Half of that city may be against us for all we know. Whoever's behind this is putting the city against itself. All of the watch are stretched thin between all the districts. There's a new Lord Mayor, and there's a lot of confusion going on. We have distractions everywhere. Half the city is fighting itself. Half the city may be against us. We don't know who we can and can't trust. The reason it falls for us is because we have an obligation to try to save ourselves and those that we love. You would do it for your fiancée, girlfriend, whatever you want to call her. You want to save her, and that's why you will do it. Nicholas wants to protect Zara, and Zara has a duty by her faith to ensure the safety of those that she can. Brunhild and Samael want to fight, and Zito is part of a group that wants to strike down evil. We have allies and we have backup. However, that doesn't mean that everyone is going towards the same goal.
Wow, Siegfried. I think you should write a song about that. Just exactly those words. And sing it across. That was eloquent.
Do not use exactly those words.
Yeah.
It won't rhyme.
And plus, I'm extremely confused still.
We bam a lot of bad people to save the world.
I can get behind that.
All right, well, let's decide what do we do, who's going. Let's do something.
Byron still has his concerns, and I'd like to hear it out because we are only we're as strong as our weakest chain, and I really would like to know that Byron is comfortable because he is an amazing fighter, and if he has concerns, I want to make sure that we can help those concerns.
I'm just a courier. I transport goods from location to location. I made a few friends. They need some help. I'll help.
Byron, you are far more than just a courier. You are one of the more dangerous men I've ever met.
I do what I can to help who I can. And right now, you're my friend. And I'm in need of more friends. Having friends is good. It gets you by with time. It gets you out of trouble. It gets you a little bit of influence here and there. And
well, let me ask you this, Byron. When we go out and save the world, do you have anything else better to do that day?
I mean, hey, you know the old saying. Save your friends from being stuck in an extra dimension for the rest of their lives. It's natural.
Who the hell says that?
We do. Very
Interdimensional space hamster.
Give a man a fish and he'll eat for a day. Give a man an interdimensional rowboat and, well, he'll save the world.
Well, y'all have convinced me that I need to go beat information out of somebody and that it's the right thing to do. So, I'm down with it. You just got to put me in the right direction.
Well, I agree. I will watch your back.
Very well.
One more
Not
thing.
to mention, I can't remember his name, but the gentleman we met at Gilf's House of Cheese. He may
Cheddar.
have some... Yes, he may
Gilf's House of
have...
Cheddar.
Cheddar. My bad. Cheese is a lot better than cheddar. Cheddar is only one of a many variety, and I serve you right to know that I am against the name of cheddar. Cheese is everything. But I got distracted. But, however, you know what I meant. That gentleman may know some information on Nevercaught.
Well, we should check.
Nick, you had something.
If you guys aren't too busy, I guess we're on this topic. You remember Dimble?
Yes, we still have to find him, but I'm pretty sure he's probably in the realm of madness.
Yeah, so the reason why um, he was taken is because he knows how to build the airships. And somebody wanted him dead or taken back to House Leodar. I just thought that you should know I was going to return him back to the House of Leodar.
So we need to go beat information out of Dumble now?
No, we got to return him eventually. That's part of my mission.
Well, make a list of what we need to do, and we'll figure out what we need to do in what order.
Thank you,
It's
Byron.
possible that
Thank
the
you.
House of Tonkaran took Dimbles to make the warships for their war.
And now it all makes sense.
But there's one piece that I've yet to work in, and it's those damn silencers, whatever they're called, the small warforged that are being made in the morning area.
What?
Remember, Byron's girlfriend, wife, fiance, however you want to say it, said that there had been sightings of slim, silent, forged-like creatures that have been showing up and killing and doing all this sort of weird stuff that have been coming from the Morning Lands. And those are the one piece that I can't fit into everything that's going on.
It could be something separate.
Put it on the list.
The Moorlands are a long way away.
But they've been sighted. None of them have been captured, but they've been sighted in multiple areas.
Well, if we found one, let's break it until it doesn't move anymore.
Zara would remember.
I'm game for that.
Zara, you would remember that you and Nicholas were taken by Nimblewright.
Linda? Is Linda... Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Is Linda still here? Is
No,
Linda
she's
still
in the back. She's in the back with her mother.
Okay.
It's just us and Rainier.
Well, you know, I might have some information that pulls that piece together too. When that child was dropped from the hundreds of stories above, I didn't realize this, but technically, every bridge in Eberron, well, Shan, has featherfall cast on it, so that if someone does fall, it's because they won't die. So I realized that Bitchface told me that a Nimblewright had dropped the child, and they had used that to to tempt us to go up, because knew I couldn't resist healing someone, and she just looks like so angry. And it was a Nimblewright. That thing, it was like, it was like a warforge, actually. It looked like a warforge. It was a Nimblewright. Maybe things are all coming together more than we thought.
Sue's eyes go dark. The problem is, that means Darkwater has a link to the morning area, which means she has connections there. And if she's using something that's just going and killing people, that's not good.
Well,
That's
then
not good at all.
she also proceeded to kill the thing in front of us with a ring. It had a ring on it as well. And then, I don't know, demonstrate that it couldn't come alive and threaten me. I don't know, but I think this bitch face is becoming more and more dangerous.
Hey,
That's not unusual.
Jeremy,
Evil is
just
beyond
check.
evil.
What's the thing they killed, actually? I thought that was just a random sailor they beat the crap out of and killed.
Oh, maybe it was.
Yeah, that was a sailor.
Oh, JK.
She tried to alter your memories to make you think that the sailor was what took you.
Ah.
But of course, you were far too wise, and you did not fall prey to the special device that was used on you and Nicholas.
Nick, you saw the number right too?
No, it was the sailor from the ship that we're gonna go investigate and arrest the people, or figure out and get a case against them so that we can send the city watch to arrest them.
Okay.
So, Renier, you have any?
As you look over towards Renier, you notice that he is nodded off in his chair, and
What was he smoking in that pipe?
his pipe is sort of tilted to the side, and one of the embers has fallen out and is now lighting his pants on fire. And he snaps awake and starts slapping his leg. Oh, good! By the gods!
I grab one of the refilling things and say water and splash water on his.
And the shock of the water hitting him, he just kind of like holds his hands out with his fingers splayed, and he's just like, "Thank you." Oh, I must have nodded off. I'm so sorry.
You and me both.
Oh, well, unless you need me for something, I think that I'm going to retire for the evening.
Well, you're about to tell us about the manor.
Oh, yes. The manor should be completed within the next week. We just need to hire some folk to run the everyday business. I have a few folk lined up if you wanted to interview them yourselves, considering this is your place, of course. I also set aside a little bit of extra funds from what I was able to gather. I actually have enough to possibly upgrade the manor a little bit more. It will take a little bit longer to finish these alterations, these additions, but should be able to get a few things done. But yes, if you want to open the manor up and open the tap room, you're definitely going to need to hire some people to do that, to run the everyday business.
Great news.
Other than that, we've had a few inquiries from one of the other tap rooms here within the alley. I believe Froon, he had been by a few times asking about you lot while you've been gone, and I've been putting it off for weeks now. I've been telling him, that you've all been busy.
I'll go talk to him one day.
Oh, could you? He's just been bothering me for weeks now, and he's been bothering the workers as well. He was insistent. He really wanted to talk to the lot of you and just sort of ask you. He kept asking about the origins of how you came upon the property.
Oh, it's all good news. We'll talk.
Very well. Well, if you don't have anything else, I will see you all later.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, of course.
And he gets up and he sort of sighs and looks down at his soggy, burnt pants, and he says, "Well, I am off. I hope that you all are able to, especially with all this business. I can't say that I understand half of the things that were discussed in this room tonight, but it seems that you all have quite a bit to do. So I will leave you to it. And if you need anything at all, please reach out."
Again, thank you for all your help. Also, before we forget, Zara, if we get in fights or battles, I want you between Samael and Brunheld.
That's my spot.
You die if you're knocked unconscious. She will.
Zito, you can stand between Zara's legs.
Deja vu. Apsa, no! Who's Apsa? Oh, sorry. It's just a nightmare.
He could rattle my shoulder into battle and be casting spells and blocking everything.
Now, we'll put him in Byron's pants.
Renier quietly slips out, heading out the door down the steps, and he is gone.
Joke's on you. Rumor on the street is there's no room left in Byron's pants.
A gentle
Byron, pants off. We're going to have to check that.
A gentle sound of a knock comes from one of the doors from the side of the chamber, and as you all look, you see the familiar side of Linda Wright, and she looks and she says, I know you're all busy. Byron, could I speak to you for a moment?
Certainly. I'll go over to her.
I'm gonna take my mother with me in the morning. I can put her up at the dormitories at Morgrave University. But I have been thinking, and I overheard in the hallway, Renier mentioned something about hiring some folk. I know this is a lot to ask, but if it is all possible, do you think that you could maybe give my mother a job?
I was thinking that myself. We have 2 beds in our room. I'll let her sleep there tonight. She needs to be around family. Not off into some dorm where there's little talk to.
Well, that's fine. Just, if you want to discuss it with your friends, that would be perfectly fine. I understand that you've all have equal shares in the manor, as you explained to me, and you're all part owners, so it's not really up to just you. And she just sort of looks beyond you towards the rest of the group, and she says, my mother really needs work. And I'd hate to think of what she'll do if she's on the streets for much longer. I certainly can't keep her up at the dormitories forever, but if you think about it, thank you. I appreciate it.
Sounds great. I'll be to bed soon.
Okay, I will be waiting. Mother's already fast asleep, snoring. I apologize.
Good.
I will cast a silence spell.
Close the door.
Does Zara overhear this?
Oh yeah, she was right there, right in the edge of the door. You all heard this. She was speaking. She was speaking softly, but not like whispering.
Zara goes over to Byron, and she's like, "You're a good son-in-law."
Byron, you already have my vote. Do what you must. Family is important.
Zara puts 2 fingers to her lips and then puts them up.
Yeah.
This is
Remember
not the Hunger Games. I mean, yes, just make sure we're all back together. We should all take the rest of the night off to just relax and regain ourselves in the morning. We've had a long day and we've had a lot of information, and we should give ourselves some time to digest it all.
And take these refilling drink. Comes in handy.
I'd ask
That's
Lip about that.
As for myself, I'm going to retire for the day. I need to go pray for guidance as to the way to beat the information we need out of our enemies.
Alright, I'm going to head to bed.
Okay. What about the rest of you? Samael,
I'm gonna head to my room on the 3rd floor and kick back and relax in there and head to sleep.
Okay. So Samael, Siegfried, and Byron have retired for the evening. That leaves Brunhild, Zito, and of course our favorite power couple.
Zito's gonna try and find an empty room.
Okay.
Wait, hang on. I forgot. Samael doesn't have a room here. So Zito, if Samael hasn't taken or hasn't decided to, there's the attic.
Where's
That
that
was for the Warforge.
No. Warforge can go
He
hang out in the
stays-
street.
He stays in the stable, I think. Oh.
Actually, you don't need a stable because he can miniaturize his carriage and his horse.
Oh.
He
He stays in the.
just kind of hangs out in the tap room.
The cellar, I hope.
Hey, there you go.
And I
There's-
can-
got the cellar.
Yeah, I can work with the cellar.
Oh, we have the library as well.
That's true.
It just depends on my weather. Doesn't mean I have to live in a library.
We can make a
There-
bed.
There's a bunch of books in there. I don't know what they are.
Yeah, but the library, there's an office there, and then there's 2 rooms, and I believe one of those rooms to the bottom left is my. And the ones above there is Zara and Nicholas's, because it's the only one with either 2 beds or a queen size.
Yeah, we have the big master bed with the bathroom like next to it.
Somehow retires to their room on the big master bed.
Samael technically lives in the attic with Zito.
It's
I think-
okay, Zeta. I don't snore.
Oh,
I
there's
think-
2 rooms.
I think whatever room Samael passes out in is his room.
Pretty much. It's usually going to be the main, wherever the most alcohol is at.
The tap room.
That's probably in the cellar where all the ale's being stored.
As long as there's a tap connected to those barrels, Samuel will be there.
I'll sleep anywhere where there's a flat surface, like the floor.
No, there is a big hallway up on the 3rd.
Yeah, there is. You know, eventually I would like to try to buy the property next to us so we can expand the house, as we kind of have little room here.
Nick, you're not looking at a big issue. Samael and Broomheld are just going to pass out in front of our door so we can't get out.
I'm short. You can step right over me.
Not if we can't open the door. Y'all are heavy.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm already in there. If they're hopping into that bed tonight, they're snuggling with Samael.
And that is why we need to upgrade the manor, like he said. We really need to get more rooms.
He doesn't even live here. He didn't put his name on the thing. We can have Liv kick him out if you ask.
But we don't treat our friends like that.
Says the one that's calling his wife a lie.
Well, I mean, he doesn't know any better.
That's true, but still, he should trust you even if he doesn't. Nicholas, I still love you,
You can
baby.
have-
I'll make it up to you later.
You can have Liv putting him out on the balcony.
No.
Yes.
Alright, so before Zara heads to bed, she goes and finds Brunhild. Brunhild,
Yes,
do you have a...
of course.
And is she sleeping on the floor?
Yeah, I'm laying right in the hallway, all snuggled up next to the wall.
Alright, well, I sit down, like, on the, like, with my back against the wall, like, on the floor. And I was like, you know, I know I don't really know you that well, but, you know, you being the only other woman in the party, you understand.
Yeah, I too can't stand bitches.
I mean, just, to be honest, it's so hard, because I don't even know, it's like I feel like I don't even know Nicholas, because he doesn't, I don't know. I know him, it just feels like there's a lot that he didn't tell me, although I guess there's a lot that I really didn't tell him.
That's true, but other than the people he knows, he seems quite simple, so I guess he doesn't feel the need to have to tell you everything.
You know, he seems that way. He seems simple, but from me knowing him the past, I don't know, 2-3 years, I know he's really not. Well, I don't know if I ever have anything. Maybe I'll talk about you with it. Talk with you about it. It's been a lot.
That's no problem. Why don't you go sleep on it?
All right.
Siegfried walks out the hallway with his bunny and panda pajamas on and kitty cats. You two alright out here?
Good night, Siegfried. Good night, Brunhild. And she heads into the room with the
With the
Siegfried
wizard.
throws a spare blanket to Brunhild, then walks back into his room and scratches his butt and closes the door.
Thank you. I turn over against the wall, hugging my new chalice.
understanding that she just stole one of the ever-filling mugs?
Stealing
Well,
would
she's
mean
stealing it if
keeping
she's
it
still
away
in the
from
house
you.
with it.
I think she intends to take it with her.
Good thing it's enchanted so I can't leave the home.
Oh, that's gonna be funny in the morning watching her try to go out the front door. I wonder which one gives it first, the enchantment or the dwarf. That's gonna be hilarious.
Okay. Would any of you like to do anything else before you take a long rest?
I'm looking forward to waking up and just slowly walking for coffee, just Broomheld and Samuel just like falling over chairs, drunk already in the morning.
I think Siegfried would be trapped into his bedroom when Brunhild rolls over and pins the door in.
Listen, compared to popular belief, Siegfried has picked up and dragged Samael under a collapsed roof of rocks. He's stronger than he looks.
All I'm saying is you can't open a door if there's a chair barricade on the other side.
I'm heavier than I am tall.
Good thing you're rather short.
Easier to roll.
That's why doors open inward and outward.
Except for this house, which is built incorrectly, thanks to Nick's awesome strategizing. Now I think we're all done for the night.
Yep.
Okay. And on that note, you all take your long rest and find yourselves having a lovely, uninterrupted rest.
Sweet, one more night and I got my loot back.
Except for Zara. Zara, as you lay in bed, tossing and turning, you find it difficult to find sleep, to find rest. The events, the last 24 hours playing out in your head, your time within the realm of madness. All of these truths revealing themselves to your companions. And of course learning of this unknown factor with Nicholas's former lover. With a queasy feeling in your stomach, you finally slip off and fall asleep. You find yourself passing through a veil. Your vision is silvery, not quite bright. In the distance you can see what appears to be several moons. As the silvery mist begins to part, you see a ruined hellscape. And in the distance, you see rocky crags and a massive citadel made of green stone. And as you stare at the citadel, you smell this horrible stench of brimstone, sulfur. And as you look down, as you begin taking steps towards the citadel, the ground beneath your feet ignites, and the fire travels up your legs. You stretch out your arms, and your hands light and flame, and the fire travels up your arms. And it is as if you are watching yourself outside of your body now, as you walk towards this citadel, and massive doors open, and a loud, resounding horn echoes, deafening throughout this hellscape. And you pass through the aperture, through the arching doorway, and the massive, titanic doors slam behind you. And you snap awake in the early signs of the morning, sweat clinging the sheets to your body as you look over and reach towards your beloved, Nicholas, snoring softly beside you. And as you look around the room, you see scorch marks on the ceiling, on the bed, on the bedposts. And as you look at the mirror across from you in the boudoir, in the bedroom, you can see that flames are now guttering and going out on your form. And as you turn to look at Nicholas, you feel a sense of dread, a sense of awakening. And that's where we're going to end the session for tonight.